Добрый вечер. Добрый вечер всем. Меня зовут Миша Либкин, с вами Limmud Unlimited, проект московского Limmud, который мы решили сделать, пока мы все в карантине. С нами много людей, как вы видите, большое количество людей в Фейсбуке и некоторое количество людей здесь с нами в конференции Zoom. Друзья, я вас приветствую. Сегодня четверг. Это очередное мероприятие, на этот раз из Чили, организованное командой московского Limmud. Идея наших встреч очень простая. Мы решили сделать Limmud для тех... Мы решили пригласить тех презентеров, которых обычно мы на Limmud увидеть не можем. То есть это люди из самых разных стран мира. Вчера мы разговаривали с Колумбией, сегодня мы говорим с Чили, а потом у нас еще очень много для вас интересных сюрпризов. И сегодня я хочу представить Авраама Юделевича, который будет рассказывать нам про еврейскую общину Чили, очень необычную общину, где евреи соседствуют с самой большой палестинской общиной за пределами Ближнего Востока. Я буду модератором сегодняшней конференции, это значит, что я буду помогать задавать вопросы. Также у нас будет перевод, что тоже очень хорошо. Перевод можно будет увидеть в Zoom. Я чуть позже расскажу, каким образом это сделать. Перевод будет на русский, соответственно, можно слушать оригинально на английском языке или русский перевод для тех, кто плохо понимает по-английски. Если вы находитесь в Фейсбуке, там будет только английская речь, поэтому если вы хотите слышать перевод, пожалуйста, зайдите внутрь конференции Zoom. На странице Limmud вы можете найти ссылку для того, чтобы это сделать. Я скажу пару слов о том, кто такой Авраам и почему мы так рады, что он к нам сегодня присоединился прямо напрямую из Чили. Представляете себе? Думаю, немногие из нас были в Чили. Итак, Авраам Юделевич более 30 лет занимается маркетингом, рекламой, коммуникациями, продажами, розничной торговлей, развитием нового бизнеса в Чили и Латинской Америке. Он участвовал в молодежном движении Макаби Ха-Цаир, является членом Бней Брита. Такая очень уважаемая и довольно старая, между прочим, международная организация. Вот уже более 6 лет Авраам принимает участие как волонтер в Limmud Чили, а также он является членом наблюдательного совета международного Limmud. Limmud Москва тоже является членом международного Limmud, так что Авраам фактически такой член главного борда всех Limmud'ов в мире. Поэтому нам сегодня так повезло не просто послушать человека, который живет в Чили, специалиста, профессионала, но и человека, который очень хорошо знает, что же такое Limmud. Ну что, давайте я скажу пару слов о том, каким образом будет организована сегодняшняя сессия. Смотрите, значит, если вы находитесь в Zoom, то, пожалуйста, включите видео, нам намного приятнее видеть лица, но, пожалуйста, не включайте звук для того, чтобы не мешать лектору. Я свой звук тоже выключу, когда Авраам начнет говорить. Кроме того, у нас будет возможность задать любые вопросы. Авраам обещал на все ответить. Единственная просьба, пожалуйста, задавайте вопросы в чате, и ответы на эти вопросы будут в конце. Если вы будете задавать вопросы по-английски, мне, конечно, будет удобно. Ой, я так рад. Анна Мисюк из Одессы к нам пришла. Здравствуйте. Вот. В конце мы все вопросы задаем Аврааму, он обещал на все ответить. Значит, кнопка чат находится у вас внутри, если вы с компьютера. Также можете использовать кнопку Q&A. Мы тоже из нее будем читать вопросы. Мы не обещаем, что будем читать вопросы из Facebook, но постараемся за этим тоже последить в трансляции. Значит, дальше у нас будет перевод. Перевод появится у вас внизу. Вот вы сейчас уже, наверное, можете видеть глобус внизу, который называется по-английски interpretation или по-русски перевод. Этот глобус, если вы нажмете, вы там сможете выбрать язык перевода. Это будет, ну, соответственно, русский или оригинальный английский. Если вы выбираете русский язык, то вы будете слушать приглушенную оригинальную английскую речь и русский синхронный перевод, который для нас делает совершенно замечательный, фантастический переводчик Лариса Привальская. Вот, мы, кстати, пользуемся услугами Ларисы профессионально тоже, очень рады этому. Значит, у нас появился перевод. Друзья, ну что, мы начинаем нашу конференцию. Я приглашаю Авраама включить камеру, присоединиться к нам и отключаю свой микрофон. Авраам, we are welcoming you. please join the conference now.
Thank you very much, Misha, and shalom to everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here from Santiago, Chile, beginning almost the winter, and I think that you are about to begin a summer in the very near future. I am talking a little bit more slowly than normal because there is a translator that she's doing her job, so we need to help her. Okay, so thank you everyone to being here. I understand that also you have people watching in Facebook Live as well. And as I said, it's a big honor to be here. And as part of the Limmud family all over the world, we are like a big mishpacha, a ganze mishpoche, everyone. And I understand that due to the geography things, if we dig a little bit deeper, we are going to find that we are relatives in many, many cases. So saying that, I'm going straight to the session of today. The thing is about how we in Chile, 12,000 Jews, are living with the biggest Palestinian community outside the Middle East. They are approximately 400,000 Palestinian descendants living in Chile. How did it happen? Okay, after World War I, during the Ottoman Empire, most of them were Christians, and they were prosecuted from the Ottoman Empire in the former Palestine. So they flew and they came to Chile. Most of them are coming from little villages at Beit Lehem, Beit Jala, Beit Shaur. It's the vast majority of the Palestinians that came to Chile. And as they flew away from the Turkish, they are called Turks here in Chile, but they are not Turks, they are Arabs. So they started colonizing all Chile from north to south. And after a while, as the immigrant story, which is very close to our immigrant story as people, they started to doing well and good. So they began to occupy positions of importance in every aspect of the Chilean life. Let's say, we can see nowadays important bankers, important entrepreneurs, important businessmen, important sportsmen. They are present in all the places. So they say, there is a say that they say, inside the Palestinian community, they say that in every little corner of Chile, which is very long and wide, you can find a Palestinian descendant. And this is true. And it's so true that if you go to any place, the counties, the municipalities, all of them, they have Palestinian descendants that are doing certain jobs. So life became today for them, and they started to do businesses and they're living in Chile. And we were very good friends, Jews and Palestinians, very good friends. And that was nice until, I would say, the first and even worse, the second Intifada. When came the second Intifada, the Palestinian leadership in Chile was being coped by young people. And young people or young leaders, and those young leaders, mainly, they are with a leftist story that they need to love Palestinians, they need to hate Israelis, and we are occupying, and they started with all those things over there. So this became very, very, very tough and very difficult. And what happened with that is that we started to see virulent attacks towards the Jewish community, undercovered by saying that they are not hating Jews, they are anti-Zionist. And we know that being anti-Zionist is being anti-Jew and is being anti-Semitic. So the speech that they are having today is that they gave and they are giving hatred speech towards the anti-Zionism. So saying that, we also have been seeing in Chile Nazis attacks, anti-Semitic attacks, not only for Arab people, so from many different aspects. And it's very hard to cope as Jews with the local policy and government in Eretz Israel, because also we as human beings, not every one of us is a fond of Bibi Netanyahu. So, but in the other hand, we need to defend Israel. So here is the dilemma that we have, that we need to go according our personal things, but defending our people. So saying that, the dilemma that we have in order to talk with them or discuss with them is very difficult. And saying that, also, I need to say that they have, for example, around 10% of the people in the parliament in Chile are Palestinian descendant. They have deputies, they have senators, they have people in the Supreme Court, in the courts as well. All over the places you might think there are Palestinian defendants. So it's very hard, ministers as well. It's very hard. They are all over the places. So there is one guy that has the highest rating of all. This guy is called Daniel Jaue, who is an architect by profession, but a politician, belongs to the Communist Party, and of course is totally against Israel. Jews, Zionism is the worst that we can ever dream. And this guy is the mayor of a county that is called Recoleta in a neighborhood close to the downtown of Santiago, a very important one. And he uses municipal funds, public funds that he has in order to promote the Palestinian cause. And it's so unbelievable that every time that he talks, no matter the subject it is, he finds the way to give the guilt to Israel and the occupation and the Nakba and all those things. So this is something that we need to experiment, and we are experimenting every day. And it's really very, very difficult because the guy is very popular. The guy has been doing a very good job as a mayor. He's giving things to poor people. He's giving things to people that is very, very well received from the community. And you know, the communist propaganda machine, you know better than us, of course, but we share common experiences in that field as well. It's very hard. And the guy is entering, and the polls says that probably he will be candidate for the presidency sometimes in the next future in Chile. So this is the kind of people that we are dealing to. So saying that, also, they are promoting the BDS all over the places where they can. They are promoting censorship to the government of Israel and stop doing commerce and trade between Israel and Chile, and especially between those parts of occupied territories that are manufacturing goods from Israel that are delivered to Chile. So they are fighting very hard in order to obtain that kind of condemnation from the government of Chile to against Israel and against the Jews as well. They are using very, very much the apartheid scheme that they have, that we Jews and Israel and Zionism are experimenting and doing the apartheid policy as was in South Africa. And of course, Judaism equals Nazi, that we're doing exactly the same to those Palestinians in the territories, the same things that we suffered in Second World War. Saying that also, They are coping positions with academics and intellectuals at the universities. They are present all over the universities, and they have been very successful doing promoting, not allowing Israeli academics in order to give talks in universities of Chile. Especially, there are 3 different faculties that they have been successful. And other faculties, they haven't been successful as well, because we are fighting that. And also, I need to mention what has been happening in the social networks, in Twitter, in Facebook, you name it, they are over there. It's absolutely terrible, the things that we are coping and receiving every day. So now you can see, for example, all families that were friends of Palestinian defendant families, it's hard to talk with them. They are moving back, and they're trying to block, they're trying not to enter to talk with the Jew. Although they can recognize that maybe the Palestinian cause, it's not as they are saying that it is. Because remember, they are Christians descendant, and we in Israel are fighting the same common enemy that they have, the same enemy that wanted to kill them. So the thing is very strange, because the Palestinian leadership has arranged it so good in order to let all the Christians leave the Christianity on the side and thinking that the Arab root is most important than that. Despite that they are Muslims or Christians, they are Arabs. So as they are Arabs, they need to be against any sign of occupation of Palestine. So this is the talk that they are doing and they are having. So saying that, the question is very obvious. What is 12,000 Jews doing to fight and to cope with all that? I am very, very proud of that, because we have our own organization, but after the second Intifada came one president of the Jewish community, Jewish communities, one president that made a big change. He says, and everyone supported it, it's time that we Jewish people don't avoid the conflict and we don't hide. It's time that our fight is not going to be to answer a letter in the newspaper that was before the social network. So now we need to take an active role. We need to have politicians. We need to have people participating in all the Chilean matters. We need to be, if they have one, we need to have one as well. So it started to do that. And like a great movement began, and the people from all around the Jewish organizations started to participate very actively in different things on the life of the Chilean community. So, for example, now we have politicians as well. We have a few deputies and candidates in every elections. We have people in the municipal counties, in many municipalities. And we have Jewish people also in ministries. We have many Jewish ministers in the last 30 years of government, since the democracy came back. And we are participating. We open the things. It's very common in countries like ours in Latin America, especially in Chile, to listen people saying, "Oh, you are a nice guy, Abraham. I didn't realize that you were Jew. That's the first time that I can talk with a Jew." So you start thinking, what is he talking about? I'm a human being. I am a Chilean born. I'm a Chilean citizen. And he's telling me that this is the first time that he's seeing a Jew. What is all about? So saying that, we need to go out. We need to show ourselves. We need to show our participation as Chilean citizenship of Jewish origin. We are part of the Jewish people, as you are Christian, as you are Muslim, as you are Hindi, or whenever. We are Chileans, despite the religion or other things. So we started doing many participating in an active way in many things. For example, we were promoting the Jewish community, or the Jewish community was promoting the leadership in the Congress in order to create a law against discrimination. It took very many years to do that, and the Jewish community make a blend of leadership with other communities that also were fighting for that. So that was very unusual at that time in order to have Jewish community people partnering with LGTB people in order to fight against discrimination. So we made a blend with them, we joined forces with them and with other minorities, and now we have a law in the Chilean system against discrimination. And now we are going to the second stage, which is another project of law that is already presented in the Congress, but is sleeping, and we need to wake up it constantly, which is anti-discrimination, against hate. So a law against hate receives jail. So we are...
Avraam, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to remind you that you don't show any slides if you want to do it, or you prefer to do it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to show you a little bit of slides as well, because I want you to look to the things that I am talking to. But first of all, give me 5 minutes, and I'm going to finish with that. There is another cause very important. Chile is a land of catastrophes. We have earthquakes, we have floods, we have a political situation as well, riots and all those things. And here comes the best of the Jewish people. And among this audience is my closest friend, Dr. Alfredo Mizrahi, who is attending as well this talk. He was my madrich in Maccabi Atzair, that Noah that I belonged. And he is leading all the social thing and help that the Jewish community is bringing to the Chilean people, our compacts. So he made, towards his leadership, he was able to build from scratch in one of the poorest neighborhoods of Santiago, called San Bernardo, almost a polyclinic. It's like a little hospital, full of all the inventions that Israel and the Jewish people have been capable to do, telemedicine and all those things, and all the poor people is being attended for free in that center that is like a dream. And Alfredo was the guy with this project. And also with this project with the hospital, Alfredo also made forces with all the people in the community, and they built a very big soccer field and also a kindergarten in order to let all the children to be over there. And he has been doing such a wonderful thing. He is the head, he is the motor, but there are a lot of people in the community with him as well, of course. But the thing is that the mayor of San Bernardo named a street in that particular neighborhood under Dr. Alfredo Mizrahi, which is a very proud moment for Alfredo, for his family, and for all the Jewish people that we are living here. Also with that, we started to do relief funds and relief task forces that goes immediately after like a catastrophe happens, a flood or an earthquake, and here goes all of that. We have a branch here in Chile of the Jewish organization that was born in Mexico that is called Cadena, It's like a chain with different pieces, cadena, and also they go immediately and they arrive to the epicenter of the things and start with the help. Besides all the bureaucrats and things that any government on the moment that it is could do. So we have many different organizations that we are doing that. After the riots that we suffered last October, all the monuments and the walls in the city were like terrible. So there is few people from the Jewish community that we went as volunteers to clean and to do all those things. And we call the TV channels, of course, in order to shoot that and film that. And the nice thing is like, also my friend Alfredo Mifrahi, who is a doctor and has served in public service and now is in a private clinic, he is bringing to that private clinic, which is the most important clinic of Chile, all the tikkun olam that they never thought that they were going to do. So there are a lot of doctors from that clinic that goes once or twice a year to do like, I don't know, 50 doctors that go to remote places in Chile and do surgery, do examinations, do treatments, do all different things. And all this is commanded by the Jewish community as well. So all those things that we go with our brothers of Chile are bringing to the Jews of Chile a visibility that we didn't have before. Also, in the political side, we started doing an event that is called Tefillah of Chile, which is Chile mostly, the majority is Christian, Catholic. So they have like a Te Deum that on the Independence Day, they go to the main cathedral and the big galach, the big, the big priest conduct a service in order to appreciate and say thanks to Chile and all those things. So we say, if the Catholics are doing that, why don't we as Jews do the same, and we call it Tefillah? So every year in one of our temples, we are rotating temples, we do that Tefillah, and comes the president, comes the ministers, comes the mayors, come all the politicians, and we do a special Tefillah for them. And we pray for Chile. And this is being covered by all the different media. Also, there is a very big thing that is called Teletón, which is a major thing that is recollecting money for children with special needs. And they need treatment, they need many different things because of polio or because of accidents, or because of all those things that they are in wheelchairs or never. So that telethon collects every year around $50 million. And this is conducted by the #1 presenter in Chile, who is like 80 years old nowadays. His name is Mario Kreuzberger. He's Jewish. And of course, he is receiving over Twitter all the defamation that you can feel and you can think, that he keeps the money, he keeps this, he keeps that. But anyway, we are a big supporters, a Jewish community of that cause. And every year when that telethon is conducted, the Jewish community shows there with a big donation in the name of all the Jewish community. So this gives us also lots of visibility in the field of tzedakah. And let me show you now a few slides that I would like you to. You're going to see certain things that we are coping with. And so here you can see scratches of swastikas and all those things in different places. I'm not going to. This is the wall, and of course they go with all the things. The fury of the book, Palestinians, solidarity with the Palestinian people. This is from the deputy chamber of the Congress to the government of Chile in order to forbid commerce among the parties. This is another one to express solidarity with the Palestinian people. This is something that goes here where it says Libertad, Ahed Tamimi. This is a major billboard paid by this guy that I told you, Daniel Hadwe, with the public funds, and in a very important street that every automobile can watch that. And this is something that I didn't say before. The Palestinians here in Chile, they have a soccer team, which has not been a champion #1, but it's always there. And all the Palestinian community, of course, they support the soccer team. But seeing that picture, what they are doing now, see the T-shirt, see the number 11, you can feel immediately that this is the Palestine map, and Israel is not there. They erase it, and we protested, and they needed to change it. But this is the things that we are coping every day in Chile. Here on the left, you are seeing the president of Chile lighting the Hanukkah candle that we are conducting every year for Hanukkah in the Palace of Government. But this is being used in Twitter, saying that, do you have any doubt who is controlling the country? Nazis, Jews, and all those. So here is, they are saying that Salvador Allende, our socialist former president, was a Jew. Same people that today are killing Palestinian children. Here is the mayor of the city of Valdivia, which is a very well-known and intellectual city in the southern of Chile. And this Palestinian descendant mayor and all the board that you can see there, they approve a motion in order to do BDS against all Israeli products. And it was very hard, but here is one of the best successful stories in the world that Chile had. What happened is that you say there that the court or the controller make a decision against that county in Valdivia because of their request, because this is unconstitutional. So we hired very well-known lawyers that they did a wonderful job for free, of course, because of the cost, and they found the legal breach that prohibited any county to ask for BDS. So that decision was not only against Valdivia, it's against any county in the country that cannot ask, because this is unconstitutional. So this thing has made that people from other places in Latin America came to Chile, and they are receiving all the monitoring on all those aspects in order to be ready if they need to cope with something like that in their countries. So this is something that comes from Twitter, that I'm not going to go in that, but you can say only things that they mentioned Israel last year was 182,000 mentions against Israel, 270,000 against Palestine, and 75,000 against Jews. This is the curve that you are, this is the words that you can see. And here is, I cannot translate, and please, Mrs. Translation, do not translate that because they are very bad words over there. But those are things that we are looking every day in Twitter. And saying that, I need to now say something that I don't want you to go outside of the Jewish world to say that, but it's important that you know, in B'nai B'rith, we created a group that is called Emet. And Emet needs to deliver the Emet, Emes, the true of our cause. So we now delivered, and we have a method that we have been working for a long time, and now we are able, in order to go to the social networks and erase and cancel accounts that are doing anti-Semitical, anti-Jews, anti-Israeli, anti-hate things in the social network. So we are doing that, and last year we had more than 400 accounts erased from Twitter because of the things that we are doing. And if you think that what big deal to erase an account on Twitter, okay, it's not so simple, because if I am, I don't know, a very bad guy, and I have 10,000 followers, if Twitter cancels my account, I need to create again an account with 10,000 followers, which is tough and difficult, okay? So here you have more. Here we are, after the riots, we're cleaning statues. This is the president of the Jewish community cleaning the Jose Marti statue. Jose Marti is the father of Cuba. So here we are cleaning as well. This is the Palace of Government celebrating Hanukkah, and the president is lighting the candle, and every year we do that. On the right side, we are in the Congress of Chile doing also Hanukkah in the Congress. And this is in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We are commemorating the anniversary of the Holocaust on the UN at the end of January. And at the right, you can see the Tefillah for Chile that I was talking to. Here is what my friend Alfredo Mizrahi, doctor, was capable to do, certain things. Here you see the polyclinic. Then you see the parvulary, the kindergarten. And this is unbelievable. You are not going to listen, maybe you listen to that, but I am going to tell you, she is the mayor of that county. She is from the right side of the spectrum politics. This is the most important program of the Chilean TV. And she's saying, you're not going to believe me, but the Jewish community gave us a hospital, complete hospital with everything. And the presenters are saying, no, this is not true. Absolutely true. The Jewish community gave us. And this guy is a socialist. Look his face. He cannot believe that the Jewish community gave almost an hospital. So, and then for the end, and then we can go for questions. Last year, we obtained that for 70 years of friendship between Israel and Chile and Israel, the president of Chile went to Israel in an official state visit, and you can see what things happen inside the plane. You can talk whenever you want with him. He is the president of the Jewish community with the President Piñera. Those are different things with ministers and different politicians of Chile and Israel, visiting the Western Wall, doing all the cities, his wife, and he is with the rabbis, doing, of course, he went to churches as well, to the Shuk, Yad Vashem, the president, the righteousness corridor of the nations. And he went to Space L before the Bereshit capsule was sent to the moon. Listen, how is he listening? He's very, very concentrated listening. This is the culture minister of Chile and technology culture of minister as well with him. And they are with the satellite over there. And he is like in the middle of a picture with that. He's very happy. You can see the minister with the president. Here a conference with one of the head of the projects in the Space Command Center. And now he's being received by President Rivlin as well, and also with Bibi Netanyahu, and they are signing agreements in different areas. And here are the four of them, and of course, having a nice Jewish dinner with the president. And she is a Chilean soldier living in Israel, and she's with the president. She made Aliyah. And here are different agreements on energy between Israel and Chile, agriculture between Chile, scientific and technology, health, agreement, and cybersecurity. All the government of Chile is using cybersecurity from Chile, and then water treatment as well from Israel to Chile. So this is more or less what I wanted to share with you, like an open conversation with a few slides that you can have the look and feel of what's going on. And now I am happy to receive all the questions that you might have.
Thank you very much, Abraham. The first I will say in Russian about the questions. Друзья, если вы хотите задать какие-то вопросы, пожалуйста, пишите в чат или в раздел Q&A, и я задам ваш вопрос. I said that if you want to ask any question, please write us in the chat section. Yeah, I think we started to receive the questions, and I will use firstly I will use this opportunity to welcome Mr. Alfredo Mizrahi. We heard a lot of things about you, so I'm very happy that we have you with us. I think it's the first time in my life when I meet somebody who has the street named after him. So welcome, and thank you very much for joining us. So if you want to say something, you can just unmute yourself and participate in our meeting. And my first question will be about the community in general. Do you, being a Jew in Chile now, do you feel safe? I mean, physically safe for yourself going on the streets or going to some Jewish organization? Do you need some special security or something like this?
Okay, thank you for that question. It's like a toboggan, you know. When we have an intifada, God bless that we are not going to have anymore, but an intifada, you need to go in the street, walking in certain neighborhoods, watching your back. And unfortunately, we as Jews, we're accustomed to watch our back. So we have developed like a back eye that we are always searching if something happened. Unfortunately, but that's the way it is. And during the second intifada, we were inside the B'nai B'rith receiving a talk from a scholar of the Hebrew University. And when we went out, there was like a riot of Palestinians against us. And it was very close to go to fight. But common sense prevailed and nothing happened, but it was very tough. And there's been isolated, very, very isolated cases of certain physical things. But the thing is, and must say, that we have developed a very good bitachon here in Chile as well. All of our institutions are very well guarded, and bitachon that 99% of them are volunteers. They do a wonderful job over there, watching our backs in every synagogue, in every place, in every Jewish institution. So for that, we don't have. And although the Palestinians or any of our enemies, they know that we have that bitachon, they don't know what is the extent of it. And it's like a dissuasive thing that prevent them to go over there. But bitachon, they have a very, very extensive and important job in order to prevent all that things. I saw, Misha, in the chat, a question related to the German community here. I would say that the question says that, let me open the chat and read it for you. If I, what is the relationship between the Jewish community and the ethnic German community like in Chile today? I need to say that very good, no problems at all. Also, every year we commemorate Kristallnacht in different places. We have two major ceremonies. One is in the Lutheran church, and that talks by itself. They conduct it, and we are guests over there. and the other one is organized by B'nai B'rith and B'nai Israel Temple, which is German roots, and is done in the principal Jewish Beit HaSefer. And we bring people from other schools, boys from other schools, in order to listen to testimonies of survivors and all those stories. And we have good relationship with the Germans. And in those ceremonies, it's very common that we listen to the German ambassador expressing how are they ashamed on everything. That it's the same speech that Angela Merkel usually gives.
Okay, we have two ways. I can ask the questions from the chat, or you can choose wherever any question you want. So the question from Gennady about the Jewish religious life and in Chile, synagogues, kosher food, and other Jewish religious stuff.
Okay, yeah, we have experimented the last couple of years a big increase in the Orthodox community. So it's very common now to watch in certain neighborhoods of Chile that are people dressed in black, and many of them with payas and all the typical outfit, and a little less as well modern Orthodox, but they walk on Shabbat, and they are known that they're the Jews coming, and they do what they need to do. It's no problem, and the Jewish religious life is being conducted without any problem. So it's very open, it's respectful, although when things are very hit in the Middle East, of course, you need to be very aware of things that might happen. But in the day-to-day, besides the Twitter and Facebook, no problems.
I want to ask the question about the origins of Jews in Chile, and also I want you to explain a little bit about the time of Pinochet and all this time of Chile. What was with the Jewish community during that time, and how it's I don't know, converted to the modern state?
Oh, okay, I think that the name of the talk, we were about to talk about the Palestinians, but we can talk about Pinochet as well, which is a very tough thing to talk about because the Jewish community, myself, for example, we are divided in two groups. One group is people of the Jewish community that knew that the human rights were being being violated, and terrible violations. And there are a few, like myself, that I didn't know at the very beginning. I knew later. And with those two things, you can find many people that justify, Jews that justify the Pinochet government, and they say, okay, the human rights, leave it aside because the economical miracle has been great and Chile is on the way to being a developed country because of that. But if you deep a little go, if you go a little deep, you cannot mention that. You cannot say that. You cannot be in that. We experimented violation of the human rights on many Jewish people that belong to ideas. I'm not going to say communist. I'm not going to say socialist. I'm going to say different thinking than the Pinochet things. So what happened that we have many Jews that disappeared. They were killed, definitely. The general manager of the principal copper mine of Chile was Mr. Silverman, and his son was my Hanich in Maccabi Atzair. So we know the story, and my friend Alfredo also knows because he was the Rosh Tnuah at that time. He disappeared, and his body never been found. And there are many others as well. And there are many stories of courage of rabbis, especially one rabbi that fought very hard in order to obtain with Pinochet the liberation and release of many Jews and also people from other credos, not necessarily Jews. Was very, very difficult. Although I would say that most of the majority of the people, we do not support the human rights violation. For that, we do not support Pinochet, but is a story that is developing and is healing on the years, because still you find people older than me that Pinochet is an idol, because now they are much richer than they were before because of policies on the economical side of Pinochet. So it's like an ongoing process that is healing, but it hasn't healed yet.
Okay, the next question came from Mr. Alfredo Mizrahi. The question is, can you explain more deep about Emet?
Oh, about Emet. Okay. Emet, and this is very close, I need to confess, because we also with Alfredo and his wife, Esther, we are close friends from life. And we are all, after the Tnuah Maccabi Hatzair, we entered B'nai B'rith. So, and we are active members of B'nai B'rith as well towards today. And in B'nai B'rith, we decided to fight against anti-Semitism, anti-Judaism, anti-Zionism. So we decided something that we can be Chayalei Asbara. So any one of us, of you, we can make a contribution to the Israel and Jewish cause. With a post in Twitter, with a post in Facebook, with a post in Instagram, or cleaning, or doing things, or promoting positive asbara of things that the Jewish people do for the country and for the humankind. So with that, at the time that Esther was the president of our lodge, she received all the things that my wife, for example, Yoli, was thinking for many years. We need to do something, we need to do something. We cannot be here without doing anything. So we started doing a group that was called Emet, the truth, and we are doing 4 fronts. Front number 1, it's social network, say Twitter and Facebook, but more Twitter, because Facebook is like a self-circle that goes around the same people. Twitter is expanded all over the different places. This is for another session. And now we've been trained in order how to clean the bad commentaries that I talked a little bit before. So this is one area of Emet. The other area is to give positive asbara. For example, Wikipedia. Okay, so we are conducting, Emet is conducting something very, very nice, which is make sure that all the Jewish descendant of Chilean Jewish descendant that had made any contribution in Chile to the society is in Wikipedia. So the situation is the following. Let's say there is a student in the university that is doing a research on, I don't know, the emergency services on the public ministry, the health minister of Chile. So he goes to Wikipedia to find things. And he writes, and suddenly comes, boom, Alfredo Mizrahi. And this is a true story. Comes Alfredo Mizrahi. And you can search in Wikipedia and put there Alfredo Mizrahi. And it's going to say, Alfredo Mizrahi is a medical doctor that studied here, descendant of Jewish family, and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And this is the thing that we want to know, that any people that is not Jewish enter Wikipedia in any random search, and if find any person, if this person is Jew, needs to say that he's Jew. That's all. It doesn't matter what he has done during his life or whenever. This is another thing, but it's Jew. So drop by drop, people start realizing that Jewish people are good Chileans and good citizens, an important one. And the other thing that we are doing also with the Met, finding all those things in Wikipedia, there is a need that we need to go to collect the personal story of people that are important. And maybe they haven't said that history and they are not in Wikipedia. So with the Tnuot, for example, Maccabi Tzair or other Tnuot, a group of Madrihim, they have been trained and they go and do interviews one by one to different people in order to understand their story. And then we do what we call an editathon, which is like a Wikipedia in order to edit, like 50 guys in one room with computers, and we are putting all the information in Wikipedia with people from Wikipedia leading us. And for that also, all those stories are in the archive of the Jewish community. So our young people knows the story from the real creator of the story, and the story is not lost, is in the archive of the community. So with one shot, we have two different and very meaningful things. And the other thing that we are doing with the Met as well is to study. We are the people of the book. So there is an organization that is called Hatzada Sheini that is conducted by one fantastic human being, Gabriel Ben Tasgal, who lives in Israel, that has put in a Jewish Zionist academy and is full of free courses and lessons of all our story. You name it, the subject of Jewish, Zionism, Israel, whenever, it's over there. So we have a plan in order that to let the most of the Jewish community to study that and receive a degree, which is honorary, of course, but the more we know, the best preparation we have in order to cope with all the different threats that we are dealing. So this is like a Met, roughly, which anyone in Russia, anyone in any country can do, because it's easy. We understand that you have also B'nai B'rith I'm not familiar with Moscow. I'm a little bit more familiar with Ukraine, with Lviv. They have a big lodge over there, and we can do that. And if you want to do it in private, we can communicate and we can share the experience and help you all the way.
I have a question about the community in general. From your story, I learned that it's a very successful community because you are doing a lot of things together. You have community institutions. You do a lot of things for local people. I mean, non-Jewish people, based on idea of Tikkun Olam. But what is about the community in general? Is it growing or it's stable? I mean, the numbers. Do we have a strong aliyah to Israel, or people maybe coming back to Chile?
Yeah, it's a good question, although, and because we are a little bit related as well on we have a common history. Remember that we have the communist and socialist government we had the privilege to be the first country in the world that we elected a socialist president democratically, Salvador Allende. So he went, and we were like the number one in the Soviet Union at that time. No, we received all the help and everything because that was the proof that socialism and communism could be in power because of the will of the people. So that was very important. And I was a teenager at that time. So going to Aliyah in that time in the 70s, like half of my generation at the school, at the Beit Sefer, they made Aliyah. We were like 120 in 4 different kitot, and half of those, roughly, they went to Israel. Until today, we have a WhatsApp group that we are all together. after all those years. And this is wonderful, but this is like a bonus track. But Aliyah has been like sustainable, and every year goes people. But after that period of time in the 70s, Aliyah has not been like a massive thing. But at that time, the Jewish community was formed by more or less 30,000 souls. Now we are 12,000. Okay, so this kind of difference went to Israel and to the Golden Medina, the United States of America as well, and other countries in Europe and other countries of the world as well. But Chile is a good provider of people to Israel. I have a son that made Aliyah 10 years ago. He is living in Israel, and I wish to make Aliyah someday as well. Never is too late.
Thank you very much. So do we have any other questions? We're almost 1 hour already here. Or maybe Mr. Mizrahi wants to say something now?
Yeah, please.
We have a chance to have you here. What? Oh, thank you.
You know, Avraam is a very close friend, and we have a lot of history about Maccabi Tzair and everything. He was great, really. He's a very. I'm very proud to have a friend like Avraam. I know that he's doing many works about Judaism and Limmud. He have Limmud in his soul, and then nothing. Only to say that thank you to have the opportunity to stay for us and to know your reality. I would like to have another conference about you and what is the reality of Russian people and the Jewish people there. I would like to see that. But Avraam is a very good guy, and he always name my name, and we are close. And when the pandemic is going to over, and then could be we can take a couple wine and to share the experience about the Russian peoples by Zoom. And thank you to opportunity to give me the words. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are ready to make a session for you about the Russian community and Russian Limmud and other things. Thank you for everything you are doing for your community.
I also want to say hello to another very close friend who is on the side of Alfredo Mizrahi. He is the Dr. Andres Gomberov, who is a physicist from Chile, an expert in Einstein and all those little things, and a very important player in Limmud organization in Chile, and he has been giving lectures in other countries as well towards Limmud, and I am very proud that he's here as well.
Thank you very much, Abraham. Firstly, you are very welcome here on Moscow Limmud. We dream to have a Limmud next year. It's the first year for our 14 years history when we canceled the event, when we don't have our annual event. So you are very welcome here and all your community. Please share with them. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity to be connected with the other part of the world, but with our brothers. now we can understand it very clearly because we have mostly all the same values, all the same problems.
Right.
Thank you.
And you know something, Misha? Also, and you can see the scope that Limmud Moscow has now. On my side of the screen is another very big and close friend who is from Colombia, Jack Goldstein. He is here also saying hi. He is the head of Limmud Colombia in Bogota, and he used to say that everyone is welcome in Colombia, and he takes care of any Jew that comes from any place of the world. And also this guy is a professional traveler, and he goes in the world touring when he can do, not now, he is desperate. He has the goal to visit 181 countries, and he is like in the 160s now, but he's searching on Jewish roots all over the world. So if you need any Limmud session, Jack is your man as well, because it's very, very nice to listen from him in Morocco or in the steppes of Siberia. He has found the Jewish over there as well.
I'm making notes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much. We just had a presenter from Colombia just yesterday. So as we're coming to the end of our session today, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I will switch to Russian for our friends from Facebook. So, большое спасибо всем за то, что присоединились к нам. Я напомню еще раз, что это была сессия проекта Limmud Unlimited, который организует команда московского Limmud. Я вам напомню, во-первых, что все проекты делают волонтеры. Мы стараемся полностью обеспечивать наш процесс. Все, кто участвует, все, кто выступают на Limmud, это волонтеры. I'm saying that all the parties, all the organizers, and including all the presenters, are volunteers for our event and for all the Limmud idea everywhere in the world. Поэтому у нас есть некоторые затраты, которые мы производим каждый месяц. Например, мы оплачиваем Zoom. Это не обычный Zoom, как вы видели, а особенный, с синхронным переводом. У нас есть затраты на сайт, на поддержку всего этого. Поэтому, если вы можете, то, пожалуйста, зайдите на наш сайт и поддержите нас. Когда закончится конференция, вы автоматически попадете на страницу поддержки. Там можно кинуть нам какие-то небольшие деньги, и мне кажется, что это нам бы очень сильно помогло, по крайней мере, не тратить свои деньги на то, чтобы проводить такие мероприятия. Я хочу сказать, что мы совсем скоро встретимся. Наша следующая сессия будет 25 мая, и у нас будет гость из Южноафриканской Республики, ЮАР. We're having next session on May 25th, and we're expecting the guest from South Africa. Сессия будет на тему поиска израильских колен и генеалогии с точки зрения взгляда через ДНК. Это фантастический специалист, ученый, зовут его Скотт Хейзельхёрст. Почитайте, пожалуйста, на нашем сайте, присоединяйтесь к нам. Вот. Не пропускайте наши сессии и не забывайте также, что 27 мая мы собираемся обсуждать фильм Unorthodox. Но поскольку это Limmud, то собираемся мы это делать с авторами фильма, у нас будут актеры, у нас будет один из авторов сценария, это уникальнейшая возможность. Я был всем очень рад, спасибо вам огромное. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, Авраам. Присоединяйтесь к нам.
Спасибо to you.
Oh.
Спасибо to you.
Muchas gracias. Is it right?
That's it.
Gracias. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.